What's going on, guys? This is Kyle from Legion Certified, and this is my review of the Honor 8. So the first thing I wanted to dive into with the Honor 8 was the design. The design of the device features this glass on glass with aluminum framing that just screams premium. The second you see this device and you put it in your hand, you automatically know that this is a flagship device, even though the price may say otherwise. This design in the hand just feels very nice with this 5.2 inch screen with the 1080p display and the smooth feel of the glass in your hand. Some people hate glass on glass built devices, but I happen to be a huge fan of glass on glass built devices. I feel like even though they take away from the structural integrity of the device sometimes, there still is really something to be said about a glass on glass build. So jumping right into the specs of the device, the Honor 8 features 4GB of RAM, a CPU with an i5 coprocessor featuring the Kirin 950 SoC with a 5.2 inch 1080p display, and featuring two 12 megapixel sensors on the rear. So when it comes to these two 12 megapixel sensors on the back of the device, Honor decided to actually have these two sensors serve two different functions essentially, one being a monochrome lens and the other one being a color lens, merging the two photos together to create a shallow depth of field effect in photos. Honor has essentially decided to add tons of other bells and whistles to the device in the actual settings for the camera app. Now, I won't really dive too much into the features for the dual lenses on this camera because there are tons of camera reviews out there that can definitely do a better job of explaining the function and the features to you guys. But I will say that picture quality on this device really speaks flagship when you compare it to some other devices and their picture quality. It's only two 12 megapixel sensors, but the magic that they work together essentially creates a great photo to look at. Video quality on the Honor is very good. It tops out at 1080p, 60 frames a second, as you should expect for a device of this price point. But the only thing to be aware of is the actual optical image stabilization. There's no optical image stabilization on this Honor 8. I really wish Honor would have included this feature. I think it would have made the camera much more competitive in today's market. Unfortunately they didn't, but it just means that you can't run and gun and shoot video when you're out and about and expect it to be jitter free. You'll definitely need a tripod when it comes to shooting video here. So one thing that really stuck out to me as odd was the fact that you required the actual manufacturer's charger that they supply in the box to actually get quick charge. Honor says that they did this so that the actual charging experience you get from this particular charger would be a better charging experience, and to be honest with you, I just think it was to sell more chargers. The one thing that I will say about the charging experience, however, is that when you do plug in the Honor, you will get a fast charge. It's powered by Qualcomm's 3.0 technology, and fast charging here is excellent. So jumping right into the software on the Honor, it's running EMUI 5.0, riding on Android Nougat, which is a great experience in itself. Even though the Honor has the EMUI skin, which is definitely not my favorite, I can say for certain that customization on the Honor 8 is certainly possible with the EMUI, especially with the themes that they offer. There are many themes out there that you can log online and find, and essentially turning your Honor 8 into a, for example, Galaxy S7 if you choose to. I personally went with a more stock feel. I installed Google Now Launcher, I shut down some of Honor's background processes that they had running, and I essentially made the Honor 8 into a stock Android device, which is my preference for Android. I'm just a fan of stock Android devices, and I feel that a lot of these companies, especially, Honor and Samsung and all these other manufacturers, they should definitely give you the option to strip down some of those processes and make it into a stock Android device if you choose to do so. Although I must add that a lot of these manufacturers are essentially getting better with reducing some of the bloatware and some of the complaints that many of us patrons have had in the past. Being that you can customize the Honor 8 so much, this essentially adds to the usability of the phone in that I can actually disable some of these processes and make it into a stock Android device for myself. But if I chose to do so, I could also enable some of these features that Honor has thrown in. As a matter of fact, my favorite feature of them all also has to do with one of my favorite hardware features, and that's the fingerprint sensor. The fingerprint sensor on the Honor 8 has to be one of the best implementations of a fingerprint sensor that I've seen by any OEM, and I really want to commend Honor in this fingerprint sensor, because when you're using the fingerprint sensor, you can essentially assign functions to the actual button. The button itself, when you click, serves one function, a double tap will serve another function, and then a long press will serve another function. And I use this ability all the time, all throughout the day as I'm using the phone. And I find that having this as a quick launch key for applications is amazing. So when it comes to my daily experience with the Honor 8, I have to say that my usage may vary compared to most. My typical usage involves phone calls, a little social media, the occasional Google searching, emailing, texting, very minimal gaming. But when it comes to the actual day-to-day functions of a smartphone, the Honor 8 screams in speed. By no means is this the most powerful processor on the market, but it definitely shows that OEMs today can use a processor that is made in-house along with a coprocessor to achieve something great. So all in all, no complaints when using the Honor 8 on a day-to-day basis. I purchased the Honor 8 for a steal. I bought it lightly used offline. The gentleman was selling it in great condition. It only cost me $200, and for that price, I think this device is spectacular. Now, where this device runs into trouble is that for the actual sticker price, $399, you have other devices in that range. The OnePlus 3T, the Axon 7, all these devices can be had for a cheap price or a cheaper price depending on what you're looking for. Now, you might be asking me, well, who is this device for in particular? And to that I would say it really comes down to what device you feel meets your needs better. I myself feel that if you value media consumption, I would say the Axon 7 is definitely the way to go. If you value having the top specs and a customizable experience and being able to flash any ROM that you can really dream of, I would say the OnePlus 3T is the better buy. Now, when it comes to the Honor 8, this is where I would say if you value a small form factor, a great photo camera experience, and a beautiful designed body, and some other useful features, the Honor is definitely the choice for you. Just make sure you get it for a great price. So just to sum things up, guys, if you were to ask me if I were to purchase a Honor 8 again in 2017, being that I got such a great deal on it, I would have to say that yes, I would wholeheartedly purchase the Honor 8 again. Having used the Honor 8 as my daily driver for the course of this past month, I would have to say that the experience has been all around pleasurable, to say the least. I mean, when you have a device at this price point with these specs that can do this much, then I would definitely say go out and purchase it right away. It's one of the best small form factor devices available on the market. And now in 2017, it's becoming harder and harder to find a smaller form factor device that can give you flagship specs and performance. at any price point, really. So guys, it's been great. Thanks for sticking around and watching my Honor 8 review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is Kyle from Legion Certified, signing out.